On election day in Nepal, the nation wakes early. Before the first cup of tea is brewed, before the campaign posters fade into the background, before a single vote is cast, something quiet but powerful is already happening. Ballot boxes are being sealed, polling stations are opening their doors, and voters begin to line up, elderly citizens leaning on walking sticks. First-time voters gripping their citizenship cards with a mix of excitement and nerves, women with children carried lovingly on their backs. Everyone sees the voters. Everyone talks about the candidates, but very few notice the people who are already there watching silently, taking notes, and asking careful questions. These are Nepal's election observers. They don't stand on stages. They don't give speeches. They don't celebrate victory or mourn defeat. Yet, without them, the entire democratic process becomes fragile. Election observation is often misunderstood. Many people think it's simply about watching standing in a corner and doing nothing. But in reality, it's about safeguarding something far bigger than a single vote. It's about vigilance, integrity, and building trust. It's about ensuring that every citizen's voice is respected, even when no one is looking. An observer's day begins long before the first voter arrives. They come early, checking materials, verifying the seals on ballot boxes, and confirming that all procedures are in place. They observe whether polling stations open on time, whether the voter lists are accurate, and whether officials follow the law exactly as it's written. Much of their work is quiet, almost invisible. It involves hours of standing, waiting, and noting down small details that most people would overlook. But in elections, these small details matter. A missing seal, a delayed opening, a procedural shortcut. These tiny moments can shake public confidence in an entire election. Nepal's incredible geography makes this task even harder. Some observers travel for days to reach remote polling stations. They walk up steep hillsides, cross rushing rivers, and endure extreme heat, rain, and cold. In many of these places, there is no mobile signal, no electricity, no quick way to report a problem. Once they arrive, they are on their own. And sometimes the challenges are not just physical. Election observers often face subtle pressure, a quiet suggestion to look the other way, a tense atmosphere thick with unspoken threats, a gentle reminder of who holds power in the local community. In these moments, neutrality becomes an act of courage. Remaining silent is not an option, but speaking up can carry real consequences. So why do they do it? For many observers, this work is deeply personal. Some speak of their parents, who voted for the first time after democracy finally arrived in Nepal. Others talk about their communities, where elections were once something to be feared, not trusted. For them, observation isn't just a job, it's a responsibility, a way of giving back to their country, a way of protecting something fragile and hard-earned, and there are sacrifices. Long days away from their families, financial strain from taking time off work, and genuine concerns for their personal safety. Observers rarely receive praise, and they almost never get public recognition. When elections go smoothly, no one even notices them. It's only when something goes wrong that questions are asked. Still, they return election after election. Behind the scenes, election observation is also a complex and coordinated operation. Observers are thoroughly trained in election law, ethical conduct, and proper documentation. They learn how to report irregularities accurately and fairly without bias. Deploying them across Nepal requires immense coordination, planning, and the ability to adapt constantly. Weather changes. Polling stations are shifted at the last minute, power fails, and communication breaks down. Every election brings new, unforeseen challenges. But the impact of their presence is real and measurable. When observers are present, polling officials tend to be more careful. Rules are followed more closely. The entire process becomes more transparent. Voters feel safer, knowing there's an impartial witness. And trust grows not in any one political party, but in the democratic system itself. Democracy does not protect itself. People protect it. As Nepal moves forward, election observation faces new challenges. Misinformation now spreads faster than facts. Digital platforms influence public opinion in ways we can't always see. The battlefield of democracy is no longer just physical, it's online, it's emotional, and it's incredibly complex. Yet, even as the challenges evolve, one thing remains unchanged. Democracy depends on ordinary people doing extraordinary work, often without any recognition. When the last vote is cast, when the polling station finally closes, and when the crowds go home, the election observers remain. They watch the count. They record the process. They stay until the very end. And then, quietly, they leave. No applause, no headlines. Just the quiet satisfaction of knowing that they helped protect the voice of a nation. So next time, remember them, the ins standing just beyond the booth. Protecting democracy one silent, courageous act at a time. Thank you for watching. To support more stories like this, please subscribe to SARK Network.